This is you. You're standing in a walk-in freezer, holding a deboning knife dripping with fresh blood. Right in front of you, a relentless conveyor belt passes massive chunks of raw meat past your face. With mechanical precision, you pull a heavy piece of flesh toward your chest, quickly separating the ribs with a single flawless cut before tossing the meat back onto the moving line. The air around you is bone-chilling, and absolutely no one says a word. The only sound is the dull hum of industrial machinery and the sickening thud of steel cutting through muscle. You blend in perfectly with the other exhausted slaughterhouse workers, but nobody in this frozen chamber knows the terrifying truth you're hiding. When the sun goes down and the heavy metal doors of the factory lock, the meat you cut is no longer from cattle. In the middle of the night, you surgically extract human organs, and even fewer people know the most tragic part of your story. You weren't born to be a butcher in a filthy meat processing plant. You were once a brilliant and highly respected surgeon working at one of the top hospitals in the United States. You had a flawless record and hands that could perform medical miracles, so what turned a top-tier medical genius into a cold-blooded black market organ harvester? Let's find out your story. Your nightmare began 4 years ago. You were on call when a patient was brought in on a stretcher to the emergency room. He was a working-class man clutching his chest and screaming in agonizing pain. A quick scan revealed a critical aortic aneurysm. It hadn't ruptured yet, but it was a 10-centimeter time bomb in his chest. You barked orders to prep the room for emergency surgery. You knew every second counted, but there was a fatal catch. The man didn't have a penny of health insurance. The hospital administration, driven by corporate greed, delayed the operation. They left him writhing on a gurney, coldly citing the need for financial authorization. Sickened by a failing system that put a price on human life, you refused to back down. You made a reckless and desperate choice. You kicked open the heavy doors of the operating room and proceeded with the surgery by yourself. Your colleagues backed away into the shadows, terrified of potential disciplinary action, leaving you without a proper surgical team. Fighting against the clock and blind without support, you made a catastrophic miscalculation in the clamp release time right after finishing the sutures. Reperfusion injury hit hard. A lethal spike of potassium flooded his bloodstream, causing cardiac arrest. You fought like a madman to revive him, compressing his chest and begging him to stay alive, but the monitor marked a flat line. You failed and a life slipped through your fingers. The hospital didn't just fire you, they destroyed you. To protect their bottom line, the administration twisted your desperate attempt to save a life into a calculated violation of safety protocols. The board orchestrated a falsified file. They painted a portrait of a surgeon with a god complex, claiming you operated in a state of unchecked arrogance. They claimed you ignored desperate warnings from your colleagues just to test a radical surgical technique on a helpless, uninsured man. The medical board didn't hesitate. Your medical license was revoked. But they didn't stop at ruining your career. They wanted to erase your existence. The hospital leaked the made-up story to the mass media. Overnight, news anchors labeled you the kamikaze doctor, a reckless maniac who treated human lives like disposable trash. They